Do we have any questions? Yes, sir. Okay, if you pressure wash the outside of a vehicle, if you're using dechlorinated water and you're outside and cold water, is it a business or a house? Yes. Both. Okay. If you're in a business, if you can keep that water from getting into a drain or off your property, in other words, you're doing it on a cement area, you can contain it up and you can wash it off there, you can do that on a non-continual basis. In other words, you can't do that every day. You can't wash all your trucks every day like that. And technically, you have to go back up afterwards to sweep up around where it was to get whatever contaminants came off the car. There is a difference in federal law has what they call household hazardous waste exemptions. And what that is designed to be is, you know, if you took your simple green and your little cleansers you have around the house, you know, and you get a little bit left in the bottle, but you throw the bottle away in the trash, technically that could be a violation normally because you're getting rid of caustic material and other things. So the federal agencies came out years ago and said, okay, households are exempt from this. You know, we expect that they're going to get rid of a little bit of cleaners and stuff like that. We don't want to be dealing with that issue. That can go to the landfill. The landfill, you know, can deal with that. Companies, they don't get the same break. Companies, they tell you you need to manage the waste. Now, obviously, cleaners like that and so forth, nobody's going to bother with it. It's still going to go to the landfill. It's not a big deal. But they have expounded some of these exemptions to households to include washing your car in your driveway. Okay, they expect you're going to do that once a month, maybe. They're not going to bother with that. It's not going to be a significant move as far as they're concerned. So again, the state mirrors pretty much what the federals have, so they've adopted the same exemptions. So households, they give exemptions for certain things. So business, yes, you're going to wash predominantly. You need to get a grip trap and a grip trap and a cold water separator for the stuff that's coming off the car. But businesses or households, no, you don't have to have it. Yes, sir.
The trucks will wash on the site. One site's concrete, one site's grass or rock. So nothing goes outside. Is that a problem?
Okay. If you're doing it commercially, you're doing it all the time. Once a month, but you're washing a multitude of vehicles. Okay. You're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to be able to do it. You're going to have the cold water separator and the grip trap in place. Because here's what, yes, because what's going to happen is it's going to leave your property. Yeah, the stuff that came off the cars isn't. Okay, it sits on the ground. Next time it rains, it's going to come off of the stormwater. Okay, that's why we have the stormwater folks are going to come in behind me and talk to you about stormwater issues. Yeah, stormwater will come in behind there and take those contaminants away. So that's why they say you got to have a grid trap thing. Everything can drain through a grid trap and an old water separator to get cleaned out, and the rest of the water will go once it's been cleaned out. Okay, but yeah, that's why I say if you're doing it as a routine basis, you're not going to get away with it. Yes, sir. Yeah, hot water cannot be released in storm into the drains or off the property. Never. It kills. It can't be discharged out. It kills microbes and things in the water, and it'll If you heat it, if you do anything to heat it, it's heated water. Yes, sir. Yeah, you have hot water can't be released to the storm water or off the property. Okay, now you use it to clean if you're clean, but you got to manage that cleaning process you're doing as well. Okay. Anybody else? All right, let's take about 10 minutes. We'll come back in at 9:30. We'll get the next. Oh, wait a minute. There's another one right here. Oh, sorry.
By the time that hot water is it's not hot water.
It depends on how much is released and where it's going and what kind of body it's getting into. Okay. Well, all I can tell you is I don't make the law. I can only read what they put on it. And they say you cannot release hot water. Yes, sir. Okay. In the water pollution section of one of the slides, it has each day as a separate offense. What that means is that if you have a release going on, you're not actively cleaning it up, and that release is still there, or you've got a continuing discharge for whatever reason, you're not able to shut it off like you're supposed to. Each day that that's occurring, every 24-hour period, could be another charge. Pardon me? Okay, no. There is no, okay, that's a good thing to cover right now. The question was, is it a violation every 24 hours once we've been told about it? The way the law is written is you're required to monitor your own facilities. You're supposed to know what's going on in your facilities at all times. If we get you with a release going on, we're going to come tell you you've got a release, an authorized release in your facility. It's a violation of Texas state law. Boom, it's the first offense. Right then and there. You have to get it shut down. You have to do the cleanup as well. And we're going to monitor all that. If that's not done correctly, then we're going to bring in the state boys to come in and make you do it correctly. Okay, but it's every 24 hours just means if it's not cleaned up properly and it's still there, then we may have another offense that we're going to do, or for some reason the discharge continues to go and go and go and go. Even if we can't locate it. You know, we got a pipe that's down here in the ship channel and it's just flowing. We check it one day, we're trying to figure out where it's coming from. We've got the state looking, everybody else is looking, and it's just continually flowing, and it takes us 3 or 4 days to figure out where the heck it's coming from. There's got 3 or 4 days where the charge is coming. Now, if you're actively working to clean it up and doing what you need to do, no, we're not looking at any more charges. Okay, we're only looking at the initial charge. Yeah, if you're actively doing what we're telling you, getting it stopped, getting it cleaned up, contained, then you're fine. Yeah, matter of fact, we're going to write all that up to the DA's office and tell them how they jumped right on it, they got right in, do what they were supposed to do, cleaned it up. It took a couple days. We're actually going to have you provide us with a dollar figure what it cost you, because our district attorney is really good about taking what it costs you into consideration when he's looking at the plea offer he's going to offer your company. Okay, they'll offer a plea offer. If you don't want that, then they're going to try. But he will often take what it costs you out of what he initially was going to ask for. So if you had a $50,000, he was going to ask for $50,000 because it was an egregious, very large spill, and you spent $39,000 on it. Most of the time, they'll cut that back and ask for $11,000 to make it where he was going to go originally. Okay. With what? If it's cold, by the time if you're maintaining it where it's at and then releasing it, if it's within your permits, because you're going to have permits for what you're doing, your permit will tell you what you do. The only supervision, there's supersedence to what I'm telling you right now is if you have a permit that's issued either by the feds or the state, they let you do certain things. They may have a permit. It's just like, you got companies on your ship channel. They let so much pollutants out in their waste streams. They're permitted to allow certain levels, and it's not a violation unless they exceed those levels. Okay, so if you have a permit from the state that allows you to pollute, I call it permits to pollute, then you can, we have to follow those standards. Do you have a question, Matt?
Yeah, so from what I understand, any water that's generated from a commercial standpoint is hazardous because it's...
Well, it's not hazardous, but it's not authorized to be released unless it's under a permit. Let's put it this way, the easiest way to recognize this is nothing goes to stormwater except stormwater. That's the easiest way to consider it. Nothing is released to the stormwater elements except stormwater. That's what they're designed to haul. That's it.
Is that a state law or is that
Yeah. No, that's the state law. And like I said, the stormwater folks are going to come up behind me here in just a minute.
Just want to read up on all these laws and dollar enforcement. Is it on one of these brochures where there's an area where you can read up on all these?
Yeah, they're chapter 365 of the Texas Health and Safety Code. And most of it, you got a little pamphlet in there that's got to break down the laws a little bit. But it'll tell you where those laws are located. You should just have a seal on it. It should say much. It's got a Class A dumping. Keep going, right there. Where it says the first line will tell you Texas Health and Safety Code 365. That's the chapter there. When you get back into water, it's chapter 7 of the Texas Water Code.